Hi all. Topic that we will have a look at today is from FRM level 1 and topic is from paper 4, that is valuation and risk models, and it's from chapter measure of financial risk. And most important one topic is expected shortfall. In this, like we will try to stimulate your thought process, mindset, so that you have enhanced learning, which helps you having a better career. So stay till the end of the video. A lot of useful information would be shared the video. There is a question that was asked as a query in one of the forums. So it says that for certain operational processes, usually in operational risk quantification, these kind of distributions are seen. Like what is the frequency of certain event happening, say technology failure or any internal frauds, or like you can think of any operational risk like due to internal fraud, external fraud, or technology failure. What is the frequency of that and what was the loss coming from that particular event that happened? So for certain operational process, frequency distribution below, it implies that, say, let's think of technology failures. So usually it is observed that two technology system breakdowns happening have a probability of 20%, and one system breakdown happening has a probability of 30%, and like there is 50% of the time there is no system breakdown, it works fine. But like when these happen, these are the corresponding losses. So like 20% of the time severity is $100, and 50% most of the times, like when these happens, these come up with $1,000 loss, and likewise 20% of the time it's 10,000, but 10% of the time it's around $100,000, which is quite material. So that has a probability of 10%. So that's what has been given in this particular paragraph. So assume that these are independent, and what is 99% monthly expected shortfall of the aggregated these losses. So these are the options. First, or like we have to calculate 99 percentile expected shortfall. That's what we have been asked. I hope the question is clear. Like you are given certain probability distribution. Mostly it looks like operational risk event. Maybe some system breakdown has been observed and the data has been collected, which has been presented in front of you. And we are asked to calculate what is expected shortfall coming from this data. Let's see. And there's the most beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you. So focus main on learning rather than like finding shortcuts, collecting material. Like these are the common mistakes which usually students do. Like keep your focus on fundamental learning, and the rest should come along. And most important bit of philosophical, like ensure that you have a learning mindset, growth mindset. Like you nourish your brain with good thoughts. Like at the bottom you will see the whatever your roots would be, you will get similar fruits. So roots create fruit. So I would say that add one more root of consistent hard work. This one roots will have a very like sweet fruits in your career. So ensure this one root is there and avoid these negative thoughts like fear, anger. Like don't worry, like at the end of the day these are exams, but yeah, if you keep working hard consistently, you have sweet fruits. So focus on these roots, and things will come along. And yeah, this is very important. If you look at this fourth quadrant, this is how you look from outer side. That's like how's your appearance from outer, and this is something which goes inside you. So this is, you can say, how you look physically from outer side, and this is like how your EQ is, emotional quotient is. This is how you think mentally throughout the day. What are your self talks happening with you? Are you thinking positive entire day? And now finally, how you are spiritually. So these internal, whatever go inside you, self talks are most plays key role in your outer appearance, your future. So ensure these are well managed well. Ensure that these negative roots are uprooted and you have something very positive. Your EQ is good. You are always helpful to the world, and just trying to make this world better. So rest of the things will be taken care of. So this is a bit of philosophical, but this is applicable in our entire life. Coming back to question, we were talking about expected shortfall. It's a expected loss or a mean loss. So like usually we say that, say for example, you have got 100 million stock portfolio. When we talk about VaR, there is a linkage between VaR and expected shortfall. That's why I'm touching on VaR as well. So when we talk about VaR, we say with a 99% confident, you're 99% confident that, just hypothetically, one day value at risk, that is maximum loss that you can have in one day is say $2 million. So this is something which is you're confident 99% of the time. But if this 99% outcome is not from 99%, if outcome is from 1%, where you are lacking on this confidence, then this 1% will, in that, this would be a minimum loss. Minimum loss would be your VaR amount. It's a minimum loss in the alpha. So when you talk about confidence level, it's a maximum loss. When you talk about in alpha, like that is 1 minus confidence level or level of significance, you say in this territory. So this is something, the white portion that you see, it's a maximum. So over here, the maximum is $2 million. Whereas when this 1%, this alpha came as an outcome, this $2 million would be minimum. So this would be a minimum loss in this territory when your confidence level came out to be true, or the results are not from this 99% white zone. So when we talk about expected shortfall, this is an expected value or a mean loss of this alpha region. So in this also there would be some losses corresponding to some probability. So say for example, this is 99%, some loss would be there for 99.5. But what we would do, we will calculate expected shortfall. That is, we will build one more distribution in this region. Average or mean or expected value of this distribution is called as a expected shortfall. That is very fundamental understanding of expected shortfall. If it is not clear, feel free to put a comment in the comment box, and we can take it up. Coming back to question, if you look at this probability distribution, the frequency 0 has a 50% probability, and with when this frequency is 0, there is a 50% probability, and there would be no severity if that is there. So the probability of 0 loss is 50%. So 50% of the time you don't have any loss. But when there is a 1 frequency, when there is a system breakdown once in a month, or say its frequency is 1. So if you look at this 1, frequency 1 has a probability of 30%. Okay. Now, when this 1 happens, there is a chance that you may have a loss of $100, which has a probability of 20%. Likewise, you have $1,000, which has a probability of 50%. So what we will do, we will make one tree. When frequency 1, which has a probability of 30%, when $100 loss happens, it has a probability of 20%. $1,000 has a probability of 50%. Likewise, $10,000 has a probability of 20%, and $100,000 have a probability of 10%. So the loss of 100 has probability of this frequency 1 30% into 20%. So you have a, for loss of 100, when I'm making a loss distribution, basically why we are doing, we are trying to understand what is the probability of getting loss of 100. So it says 6%. Likewise, when frequency is 1, when you say loss of $1,000, so it would be this 30 and into this 50. So this 30 into 50, which will come to 15%. Likewise, frequency 1, loss of 10,000, it has a probability of, frequency 1 has a probability of 30% and loss of 10,000 has a probability of 20%. So the probability of this loss happening, that is 10,000, is 6%. Likewise, we can calculate when there is a 1 frequency, 30% chance, and 100,000, 10% chance, has a probability of 3%. If I sum these up, so total probability of frequency 1, like loss is happening due to probability of 1, is 30%. Now be very careful. See, there is an easy way. The question in the forum was asked that what is the easy way to calculate this? There is an easy way, like to calculate 1% expected shortfall. But you should understand the basics. Otherwise, like it will become difficult if you just directly try to jump on the solution. So when frequency of 2 and loss of 100. Now what we will do, we will again go back to table. When there was a loss of, when there was a frequency 1, so these losses can only happen 1. But now frequency is 2. So these losses can happen twice. So what we are doing, just be careful, like what is done. So if frequency is 2, which has a probability of 20%, say initial loss that happened, loss 1. So frequency is 2, there would be 2 losses. When there, like say when system breakdown happens, technology failure. In first instance, say loss was 100, and in second instance, say loss could be 100, loss could be 1,000, loss could be 10,000, loss could be 100,000. So what we have to consider to calculate probability of loss 100, when like first loss is 100 and second loss is also 100. So frequency 2 has a probability of 20%. This loss 1 being 100 has a probability of 20%, and this loss again 1 has a probability of 20%. So 20, 20 and 20, it's 0.8%. Likewise, frequency 2, loss 100 and second loss that is happening is 1,000. So 20, 20 and 50, you will get 2%. And likewise for this 10,000, it would be 20, 20 and 20, which is 0.8%. For example, last like frequency 2, first loss is 100 and second one is like a big one, 100K, has a probability of 0.4%. So total probability wherein frequency is 2 and first loss is 100. So this one comes to be 4% total loss when frequency is 2 and loss 1 is 100. Likewise, we will repeat the same process wherein frequency is 2 and loss 1 is 100. So we will keep this 1,000. Frequency is 2 and loss 1 is 1,000. So frequency is 2, loss 1 is 1,000, which has a probability of 50%. You can check the frequency table. Likewise, we can again calculate all the possibility of second losses. So first loss we are freezing and we are varying second losses. We are calculating the corresponding probabilities. This comes to be 10%. Now what next? Like what we can do is, this was 100, initial loss was freezed as 100, initial loss was freezed as 1,000. Not, we will freeze this as 10,000 and 100,000. So loss 1 is 10,000, loss 1 is 100,000. And likewise, we can vary the secondary, calculate the corresponding probabilities. We have a 4% and 2% when initial loss is 100K. So if you add these up, like all the possibilities, now we have covered all the possibilities. If you look, when frequency is 0, when frequency is 1, what is the chances, and when frequency is 2, what are different permutations and combination of losses happening and all the probability distribution. So if I add all these up, 50% when 0% loss, 30% when there is a 0% frequency, 80% is covered between 0 and 1. In frequency 2, it is say 4%, 10%, and so 14% was here, 6% is here. So 20% and 80% coming from 0 and 1. I hope you're getting. And so if you look at table, now like tree is easy to visualize. If I would have shown this table directly, it would have been bit of challenge to understand. It's the same thing that we had done with a frequency 0. Probability of frequency 0 is 50%. So there are no losses when there is no system breakdown. So probability of 0 loss is 50%. Likewise, when frequency is 1 and initial loss. So when frequency is 1, these losses will happen once. So there is no scope of second loss. So these losses happening once has a probability of these. And when we talk about frequency 2, there are different permutations and combinations. So frequency 2 has a 20% probability. This is fixed across. Now what we are doing, we are freezing this initially loss 100 and we are varying the loss 2. Likewise, we freeze this freezed as 100, these freezed at 1000, and this freezed at 10,000, and this freezed as 100,000. And we are varying the loss 2 and we are calculating the probabilities. So this is the entire probability distribution of the given frequency and severity distribution. Now we are quite close to what we are looking for, but yeah, let's see. If I just rearrange, see this was for ease of calculation. We calculated this, but when we look at loss distribution, actually our losses should be in like you can say these should be ordered. We should have a maximum loss at the top. So what we have done, maximum loss is 200,000 when you have first dollar also $1,000 and second dollar also $1,000. So you have the probability of 0.2% of losing 200,000. Probability of losing 110,000, it's twice. When you have a first dollar as 10, first loss as a 10,000, second loss as 100,000. Likewise, it could be other way around also. You have a first loss of 100k and second loss of 10k. So the total probability, this is indeed we are looking for. What is a 1 percentile expected shortfall? So that is something which we were interested in. Now we have an amount and corresponding probability. It's quite easy to calculate the expected value. Ultimately, expected shortfall is the expected value given your loss has exceeded the value at risk amount. And yes, if you are like just slide off the topic, if you are looking for say any of these packages, please feel free to reach out to us. This particular package will just give you the access to mocks, online mocks, and like this one, like how this question was solved, like we can solve many questions before your exam. Very interesting one. Like if you are appearing for say before 1 month before exam, it's good to have this. Like we conduct live sessions wherein we help students solving the questions live, and you can get your doubts resolved during those. So we have a first package mock, second one basic, and third one is standard, wherein like you will get access to online mocks. You will like get recordings of these and recordings of our live lectures. And final one, you will get everything: online mocks, live solving, lecture recording. You can attend live classes on weekends, and you will get access to premium WhatsApp group. Last but not the least, you will get a career guidance also. What function suits you best from your academic, from your experience, from your competencies point of view. That also something that we guided also. And yes, like one thing Finuture education you assure you is you will have strong fundamental, and you will have ability to apply things. It's not really, you might have seen, you may know frequency distribution, severity distribution, probability distribution, but it's how you apply things that is also very important, and that comes with a practice, consistent practice during sessions. And we have got experienced faculties who have like the practical experience, and we are result oriented. We help you preparing with a targeted preparation. It's like ocean, like the syllabus is ocean, but how the strategy or the blueprint of your preparation should be, that's where where differentiation lies. So feel free to get in touch on the WhatsApp number mentioned here and throughout the slides. And coming back to question, this is how the probability distribution will look like. If you see, this is something which we are interested in. This is our 1 percentile loss. 1% of the time, 99% of the time, your losses would be in this direction. When 1% of the things happen, this is something which will like this had a probability of 0.2%, this had a probability of 0.4%, this also had a probability of 0.4%. So this is your distribution of the data that was given to you. Like if you merge frequency and severity distribution, this is how your distribution will look like. And yeah, first let's calculate, like if this is, so expected shortfall would be, so it's expected value, probability of 0.2% of 200k loss plus probability of 0.4% of loss of it's let me just check what was log. I think distribution has some issue. It's 110,000, some issue with the plotting, but yeah, it's 110 instead of like this looks different. So it's $110,000 plus 0.4% into $110,000. So if you calculate this, how much it comes to be? So 0.2% of $2,000. So if I calculate 1% of $2,000, it comes to be 2,000, and 1/5 of that would be 4,000. Like let's calculate on Calci. Do not play with calculation when numbers are not straightforward. So 0.2% into 200,000. So it coming to be, so it will come around 400 plus 440 plus 440. Very important, it's a conditional loss, so you have to divide your alpha in the denominator. So this would be 0.01. So if you calculate this, 440 plus 440 plus 400, comes around 1280. Divide by 0.01, that will get multiplied by 100. So it's 128,000, which is an answer. And this one you can give a try. It's also based on your basic understanding of your expected shortfall. So just give a try and put your answer in the comment box. And yes, thank you for staying till the end of the video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like and comment on our videos. This was just left as a blank for our working. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thank you once again. Stay connected with the channel. Thank you.